Okay, recap for Wednesday, the 11th of February 2026. Today was NFP Wednesday. I know that's weird to say because typically NFP is on Friday, and these motherfuckers decide to have a government shutdown and stuff. And now we're apparently there's something called NFP Wednesday, right? Anyway, NFP is whatever news they had. We knew what this day was, right? Because like I said on Monday's video that Monday's gonna go up, and then Tuesday's gonna accumulate, and then Wednesday's gonna start the manipulation, and then tomorrow we're gonna continue this distribution down, and overall the whole week is going nowhere because it's just an accumulation week, right? So we already know the script, right? We already know the script how the week is gonna play. So that's why um that's why we know what today is gonna do, right? We already know, like I said in yesterday's video, that Mondays went to our max like place that we could go up to. So we're not gonna go anywhere, right? And this is what I mean, right? If we look at the previous 3 days, right, ranges, look at this high and look at the high, and like we're not going anywhere, right? What, 20 points difference, and then again 15-point difference. We literally like at the maximum possible place, right? We can't go any higher because we're still bearish. But the market with this rally on Friday and Monday just made it look like, hey, yeah, we're going to be bullish. But no, it's just to get to people to believe and accumulate them and distribute against them, right? And why would I say we're at the maximum, right? Because we here, this suspension block, right? We're not gonna close above it, like I said in yesterday's video. We're gonna wick into other stuff, and our breaker block, right? We literally at the maximum of it, right? Right? We're not gonna close above this either, right? The most that I said that we could wick into is to this order block, and it was unlikely, right? Very unlikely, but it could happen, right? You never know. It's NFP. I'm not gonna say what the market is exactly doing, but all I know is we're gonna close bearish, right? We're gonna go bearish. So knowing all of that, the only like PD array left in this area again is a suspension block, and also we have our regular trading hours um opening range gap right here, right? That lines up, right? That was holding price yesterday, so I'm gonna have it for today, right? You can see we made these relative equal highs, but I'm not looking at that at all. I'm looking at mainly filling this gap in price action, right? Now that we have filled it, right? Let's just speak out how the day started. So the day goes down by start what do you call it? London taking Asia low, right? So right now, wait, why did I not have London low? I'm genuinely confused why I didn't know London low. Regardless, right? Um, in terms of buy side, we take London high, right? And we take Asia high. And then we take our previous daily high right there, right? So now with what's left is the regular trade and open range gap, right? We are the highest point, right? Like look how we even take it, just a wick and down, right? But we already know this is not enough, right? Like let's say this was 9:30, sure you could take the short, but we would wait for 9:30 to take the short. Why? Because then at 9:30 this will become a pool of buy side liquidity, right? That's one. And it's typical for NFP to clear, right? After 9:30 it will do a clear. Regardless if it cleared this, it will do another clear, right? Of the liquidity, then go in that directional run, right? That's just typical of NFP. On top of that, just to make sure, ES will have an SMT at the high for sure. Yep. I marked this when it went down. I didn't even look up back here because I just know it's gonna have the SMT, right? It has the SMT, right? To go down here, and then it clears them, right? It's not gonna leave these as relative equal highs. I was so close to taking the turtle soup because it was just so obvious. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stick to the rules. I can't just be risking trades like taking a turtle soup, right? Anyway, so we already know that market is gonna be bearish, and this is exactly what we expect, right? Go up and then go down. NFP, you typically need to wait for the first macro. No tip, you really need to just wait for 950, right? You have to wait now for 950, right? To give you that clear entry, because it will start just not being clear, right? It'll do stuff like this, but then 950, then you can trust the entry, right? But this day is unfortunate that the first presented is very small that I didn't like, right? But you'll see regardless of it, once we hit 950 and we go under it, if you use it, it works. You know what I'm saying? Before, if you're trying to enter, you're getting cooked. But the second that 950 comes, I'm telling you, that's when you can enter on NFP days and you can trust your like stop loss. Let's say if you're trying to use this as an, I don't know, reclaimed, or use this area as an inversion or whatever, right? So I hope I explained the trade. I mean, not the trade, the day. I don't see much else to explain, right? Because after taking this high, right? If we're just looking at our liquidity, we have one, two. I don't know why I don't have London low marked. Three liquidities to the downside. So where is the market gonna go if the high time frame is bearish and the lower time frame is bearish? It's gonna have, once the macro comes, a low resistance liquidity run to sell side. Why is this sell side running through everything? Again, it's regular trading our sell side, right? So that low, right? Regular trading hours, filling this large opening range gap, right? It's next to it. So all of this makes it a high candidate. Just for low resistance liquidity run on the sell side, right? And of course London thingy, but my rule, if there's like, let's say three sell side, I'd aim for both of them and leave the last one, right? As like in case it doesn't go to it, right? Because we could always stick in a range. This could have came down here, it could have stopped at this or this little mini fair value gap, then went to like discount like this, right? Kind of a 2022 model, and then came down, and then this version it failed, so it could have done this again, but like just low up there, and then consolidate for the day because tomorrow is the distribution, leaving this as like relative equal lows or something, and then going against it. So just take the probabilities and just don't don't be greedy. Get out at what makes sense. Okay. In terms of entry, um, well, my ideal entry, like I said, right? We got to 950, right? So I'm looking at all this. I know it's just garbage. I'm watching like what price is actually doing. So it wicks all the way up, goes to this gap. What I would have loved for it to do right there was make a fair value gap, a bullish one, and then an inversion that I can just take immediately. But it didn't do that, right? I believe on the 15 second when I was watching it, there was something, but it wasn't as great, right? It's just running up. There was this gap, right? And I'm still waiting for 950, and we kind of moved past it. So, kind of watching this, which was holding, but at the same time, I'm watching the first presented. And this wicks into a 5 minute inversion, right? The low of it. And I had a limit there, but then I took it off, right? Because I still wasn't sure, right? I still wasn't sure because remember, it's 950, but there's one rare case, one time that the market has actually moved on NFP at the next macro, which was 1050, and then it actually came down and then went again and took the high again. That's one out of like, I don't know, let's say 8 times that I'm really looking at NFP. So it's rare that it would do the 1050 run. So I just took it out in case because I didn't see an entry that I really like, right? Once we went below, that's it. I got my entry right there. See what I'm saying? No drawdown, straight to TP. Okay, that was. I think I took it at 150 points, right? Because I have kind of a rule of like 150 points is max for me. Any more than you just taking the piss, really. So That's the entries and why that's the inversion fair value gap on the 5 minute, for example. If you're looking up, that's the last one. I'm trying to catch this order block at the same time, right? And well, not order block, technically the breaker block, right? If you want to see it that way. Regardless, like high low, high high, but on the 5 minute, right? And in terms of this breaker, this is what I wanted to catch originally, right? This little, I guess, run if you see it in the 5 minute. Regardless, this was gonna get priced down, right? I don't even know what I'm speaking about right now, because like it doesn't matter what the entry was. It's just that the market was going down. One more thing actually in terms of the entry, um, what helped as well is us displacing below the first presented fair value gap of, what was it, Tuesday? Tuesday's price, right? So yesterday's price action basically. We displaced below it. Look that we were holding above. That's why we wait. This is another confirmation. So this was the most high probable trade, right? With the least amount of stop loss risk or whatever. This was a good trade if I entered it, but it was risky, so I'm glad that I waited. And on top of that, we displaced through a quadrant, right? This is the suspension block, upper quadrant. We'll make a fair value gap through it. So this is just the highest of probabilities, and above us we have a breakaway gap. So you could put a stop loss here, which is kind of aggressive. I put mine above here, allowing for a full visit for this version, I guess, of the first presented of yesterday's. And I believe it was discount of this little run exactly right there. So perfect trade, really, and straight to TP, no drawdown, blah 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 blah, few minutes, and we get all the liquidity that I'm looking for, and we go even lower, right? And you notice, where do we go lower? To the bottom of the suspension block, and then we come back and accumulate. Why? Because this is, let's say, 8 times out of 10, if my analysis is right, is the high of the week, and then tomorrow we're gonna make some liquidity to distribute even lower. I don't know if we can reach this, because again, I still don't expect us to get to this low this week, but I do expect us to make our way lower and kind of consolidate up and then go. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for next week. We're basically stalling for next week. This week idea is accumulation. We're just stalling, so next week we could get this low, right? Oh, we might get this low, yeah, this week. I don't know. We could just dump tomorrow crazily, right? Do this, stall, and then do this, and then Friday maybe continue it, or we could just do it all in one day tomorrow. But yeah, that's the market recap. I don't want to make it too long, right? You got the levels, you got the idea where you wanted to go, blah blah blah. The entry, why I entered, why you wait for 950, how NFP days react, what the NFP does, and I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, if you see NFP go up, just short. It's just, if you just want to go brain dead with it, if you see 9 times out of 10, you see NFP go up and then stall at 930, takes a liquidity, you can just press short, right? And then just have your start. Like, you can backtest it. Anyway, that's the market recap. Peace out.